Welcome back everyone. Quickly, let's start a new discussion on HTML CSS tutorial for beginners to the advanced level. And don't you forget, in our previous tutorial where we discussed about HTML beginners to the advanced level, I told you guys that I'm going to switch to the CSS beginners to the advanced level because we are already getting to the advanced level in the HTML. So I don't like a situation whereby I'm discussing something advanced and I'm not be able to touch base on it so that you guys can be able to follow along easily, because there's no any magic in this. So you just have to understand the scope in it. And I've never seen any scientist that will tell us today that you can write HTML element without involving CSS. So that's why I'll have to title this HTML CSS tutorial for beginners to the advanced. I will not call it CSS tutorial only. So I want you guys to follow along. Anwar Akorede Ayofe is my name. So let's get started. Right here in our CSS tutorial, we will be talking about CSS in details. So please follow me. CSS is the language we use to style HTML documents. CSS describes how HTML elements should be displayed. This tutorial will teach you CSS from basic to advanced level. Once again, CSS is the language we use to style HTML documents. For example, you can see all this. These are the CSS markups. So, let me tell you what we quickly covered. In our reference right here, we will explore complete CSS references of all properties and selectors with syntax, examples, browser support, and more. We will discuss about CSS properties, CSS selectors, CSS browser support, CSS functions, CSS animatable, CSS aura, CSS web safe fonts, CSS units, PX to EM conversion, CSS colors, CSS default values, CSS entities. We are going to discuss about all that so you can be able to understand how CSS works in details. Once again, CSS is the language we use just to style our HTML document. CSS describes how HTML elements should be displayed. So I'm going to show you a little brief something. Back to our document right here. Can you see this? I did all this with, as you can see, this border that draw a box, and you can see this color, all this, and the outline. We align everything. Everything is looking nice, right? This with colors, colorful, right? We did this with HTML CSS. That is the power of CSS and HTML together. As you can see, here is the code. So in our next tutorial, we are going to start discussing about it. So, and don't you forget, I've discussed about HTML inline, CSS inline, and the external CSS in our HTML document. So we are going to use everything together so you can be able to understand what we can get through HTML CSS together. Anwar Akorede Ayofe is my name once again. Have a great day. Thank you so much. To our next tutorial. Bye bye and bless up.